I am now officially calling the election. It's over. End of this. President Obama will be reelected. Now, is there a caveat and an asterisk that there could be several different miracles that happen in the next 41 days that change the outcome? Of course, life is way too unpredictable to say anything with 100% certainty, but this is as close as it gets in terms of politics. Now, of course, the rest of the press will be telling, oh my God, it's such a close race and the country is splitting. You never know what's going to happen. Nonsense. Let me give you two devastating facts, and then I'll give you the poll numbers that prove my point exactly. So, number one, whoever's leading after the last convention is over, 2 weeks after those conventions, never loses the lead. In the last 15 presidential elections, we're 2 weeks past the last convention, President Obama has a very comfortable lead. So it would be surprising, to say the least, that if he lost it overall with the country, let alone the swing states, which I'm about to get into. Point number two, the Republicans have never won an election, a presidential election, without Ohio. In fact, Ohio has picked a winner in the last 11 presidential elections. I'm going to give you the numbers in Ohio in a second. First, let's take a look at the poll numbers on how this campaign is going. Well, American people have about a 54% favorable view of President Obama and how he has been handling his campaign, and 43% unfavorable. That's surprisingly high, especially in this day and age of negative campaigning, that they're viewing it relatively favorably. Well, are they viewing Mitt Romney's campaign equally favorably? No. 61% unfavorable, 35% favorable. Those numbers would appear to be a disaster. In fact, just since mid-July, which isn't that long ago, the negative view has gone up 12% on Mitt Romney. It was already horrible when it went up 12%. So, on this program, I told you that his comments about the 47% of Americans that he doesn't care about and won't do anything for, that he thinks are basically lazy bums, would devastate him. Now, he was already in massive trouble in the polls before that was taken into effect. I said, once that's taken into effect, oh, it's going to be good night, Irene. And Irene, I got news for you. It's a good night. So, number one, on those 47% comments, has it hurt him? 54% said it gave them an unfavorable view of Romney. Bizarro 33% of the country thought, yeah, that's awesome that you're ignoring 47% of the country. But that's a big number, 54-33. That means that is bad news for him, but it gets worse. In a critical swing state of Ohio, 89% of the people in Florida have heard that 47% tape. So they know what's going on, and they know that Mitt Romney does not care about them. In fact, when you go to the independent voters in Florida, which of course will decide the election, disaster. 58-37, they say that tape's comments are improper and makes them less likely to vote for Mitt Romney. And by the way, Florida is not an outlier. I'm just giving you one example. Swing state after swing state, 90% have heard the tapes. Overwhelming majority of those say those tapes are terrible. It makes it seem like he doesn't give a damn about us, which, by the way, is accurate. So let's go to those swing states. Overall numbers. Pennsylvania, end of this, 54-42. CBS New York Times Quinnipiac poll, 12 points. He ain't making up 12 points in 41 days. Good night, Irene. Ohio. Oh, this is the critical state. He has to have Ohio. Romney can't win without Ohio. 53-43. Look, if you're not in politics day to day, let me just tell you something. A 10-point lead is not small. 10-point lead is na 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 na. You're done. 41 days, you're going to make up a 10-point lead? I've never seen that in a presidential election. All right, but look, Florida. Come on, he's going to be doing better in Florida, right? Wrong again, Bob. 53-44, a giant 9-point lead in Florida. This is not going well for him. Well, how's he doing among female voters? Disaster. Florida, down by 19 among females. Ohio, down 25. Pennsylvania, down 21. Disaster. Now, you have to understand something. Mitt Romney has, of course, already lost the African-American vote. My favorite poll in this entire election was a poll of African-American voters. It was 96-0. I've never seen a 0% in a poll before, okay? Now, among Latinos, he's lost the great majority of them. He says in the secret tapes that got him in trouble in the first place at the fundraiser. Oh man, without Latinos, we're in a lot of trouble. Oh, I wish my dad was actually Mexican. He said that because they're gone. They're gone. They're not voting for me. Obviously, the females are gone. Now, people are saying he might be having trouble with white males. Well, then who do you have left? Now, look, this is a Democratic pollster, Stan Greenberg, in fact, one of the best ones out there. He said, but understand, his polls aren't lying. And he says, quote, white men are significant and they are in play. So understand the significance of this. In the elections for over the last 20, 30 years, Republicans have won white men about 60-40. Significant win among white men. In fact, President Obama did really well. He got 41%. That was better than Clinton and Kerry and Gore, believe it or not. He might get a higher percentage this time. All of a sudden, white men are in play. Oh, this is going to be crushing if white men are actually going to be close to 50-50. Oh, it's beyond over if that's true. And they go and Politico talked to a bunch of voters in that category. A guy named Bob Petzinger was an example, and I know this is anecdotal, but there's also polling to back it up, and there was a great number of these guys. Recently switched over to the GOP, now switching back. Why? Quote, what I took away is that Mr. Romney will do plenty to help his rich brothers, but nothing to help me. I'm hanging in there, but I can't afford to lose anything. That nails it, man. But you know what? These are not the only things that are going wrong for Mitt Romney. It's not just his own words. President Obama has also been running a brilliant campaign. And Frank Luntz, the top GOP pollster, said that this ad we're about to show you was, quote, devastating. And I agree with him. This is the ad that Priorities USA, it's actually Obama's super PAC, been running in Ohio, and part of the reason why President Obama has a 10-point lead in Ohio. Watch this.
Out of the blue one day, we were told to build a 30-foot stage. Gathered the guys, and we built that 30-foot stage, not knowing what it was for. Just days later, all 3 shifts were told to assemble in the warehouse. A group of people walked out on that stage and told us that the plant is now closed and all of you are fired. I looked both ways. I looked at the crowd, and we all just lost our jobs. We don't have an income. Mitt Romney made over $100 million by shutting down our plant and devastated our lives. Turns out that when we built that stage, it was like building my own coffin, and it just made me sick.
Priorities USA Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Damn. Oh man, that was a sledgehammer. When he said I felt like we built our own coffin, I was like, na 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 na. Hey, you know what, Mitt? Build a 30-foot stage now, because somebody's about to announce you're fired. You're done. You're not winning this election. In fact, look at the sorry state he's in now. He goes to rally his own folks. Look at how lame this is. Watch.
Wow. That's quite a guy, isn't it, Paul Ryan? That's something? Wait a second. Romney Ryan, Romney Ryan, Romney Ryan. There we go. All right, that's great. Thank you.
Oh, Jesus. And the crowd's into it. They're like, Ryan, Ryan. That's his VP, of course. And then he's like, Romney Ryan. They're like, not really. One guy does it. He's like, oh, thanks, God. Thank you, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I'm calling it. It's over. Mitt Romney has already lost. Now, again, the rest of the press will tell you pretty stories about how it's a close election and you need to panic and you need to pay close attention to what's happening. But you know what? The rest of this election is like that tape at the end there. It's just watching a guy bleed out. This thing is done. Man, I haven't seen somebody get their ass kicked like this in politics in a long, long time.